Or okay, so um, to start off, my name is Kevin. I'm currently a third year mathematics major, and I'm one of the peer academic advisors for the School of Physical Sciences. And this is the PSUM interview. And so, just to start off, may you introduce yourself and what you do?
Hi, I'm Matt Aggleton. I'm a PhD physics from UCI in 2010, and I currently work at General Atomics at Lawrence Livermore National Lab as a process engineer for target fabrication for the National Ignition Facility.
Thank you. First question, how did you become interested in this field? So in other words, what motivated slash inspired you to pursue this field?
So from from high school on, I always wanted to study physics. So I did my grad school in physics. And then as I was finishing up, I started looking around and realized that I didn't really want to be in academia. So I branched out to industry, which meant becoming an engineer. Um, so I worked some aerospace manufacturing in LA area for about 10 years. And I was kind of getting tired of that, wanted to move on to something a little bit bigger. And this opportunity at the National Lab showed up, and I thought that it would be a great balance between industry and academia, where I could, you know, not not be teaching, but be in that kind of research-based environment. Um, and as a process engineer, I get to do a lot of fun stuff where if something is not working, I get to swoop in and fix it and then give the routine stuff uh, back to production.
All right, thank you. Our next question, in your opinion, how do most people get into this field and what are common entry-level jobs?
So a lot of the people here, uh, there's kind of two routes. Either you worked in industry for a while, and got to maybe 10 plus years under your belt, and then you end up coming to the lab, or you do an internship here and end up coming straight here out of college.
All right, thank you. Next question, how relevant is your undergraduate major to your job now?
So like I was saying, I was physics all the way through, and I'm now in an engineering role. But what I believe is that that gives me a broader perspective than someone with an engineering degree, to be able to approach the problems I'm facing from more from a broader scope and take into account concepts that engineers might have heard of on the periphery, but don't really factor into their day-to-day work. So I might pull on materials science. I might pull on cryogenics. Uh, I might pull on magnetics research that I've done, a wide variety of things that engineering is, in my view, a little bit more focused, and it goes deeper where it goes, but it doesn't get the breadth that a physics degree does.
I see. So would you say that you were grateful that you kind of had the physics background with your the field that you're working in?
Yeah, definitely. And throughout my career, it's helped me have insights that my peers didn't have because of my different background. Richard Feynman used to always talk about his toolbox being different than those around him, and that's how he was able to do things that surprised his colleagues because they had different tools. And to some extent, I feel the same way.
I see. I see. Thank you. Next question. What skills, abilities, etc., are essential to success in your job?
So major things are the soft skills, the non-classroom skills. You need to be able to communicate both verbally and written. You need to adapt to the culture of a place. Um, and it's hard to teach those things, but you learn those things along the way. As far as technical knowledge, I mean, it all factors in here and there, and you never know which little thread of it you're gonna pull on at any given time.
I see. Thank you. Next question. What is something that surprised you the most in the first couple of years of your job, or even the last couple of years?
Well, I've been at this job for 2 years, so the first couple are the
Oh.
last couple. um, so being at a national lab is very different than industry. In industry, you're always trying to cut corners, save on costs, pinch pennies. Um, and in, and here, I feel like, we're not wasting money in any way, but the mission of achieving the research and getting the data that we need is always in the forefront. So if it's a matter of, we really need this new microscope to take this piece of data that we need, then we're still gonna look at the budget, but things are gonna move faster, and we're gonna get things done and either come up with an alternative or get the microscope.
Thank you. Next question. Are you able to establish a work/life balance in your field?
Definitely. That's another great thing about being here at the lab. I get so we're on a 980 schedule. So you work 9 days in 2 weeks for 80 hours. So it's basically 1 week you work 4 days of 9 hours and 1 day of 8 hours. And then the next week you only work 4 days of 9 hours. Then you have every other Friday off. That really helps with the work-life balance. And the other thing I've seen is work-life balance is up to the individual. It's very easy, especially in a salary position, to just live at work, but you can also choose not to. And I feel like here, at least, there's not a lot of pressure to overwork yourself or go beyond. Uh, you want to get your work done, but you don't need to be a slave to your work.
I see. Thank you. Next question. What do you wish you had known before you started in this industry?
I don't know. I'm enjoying learning it all. So I don't need to have known anything more than I did. I've just come in with an open mind, and I've got a lot of very intelligent peers here that I get to learn from every day, which makes it a lot of fun.
I see. I see. And last question. What advice would you give someone considering this type of job?
So we do a lot of internships here. I would definitely say try an internship if you're still in school. If you're if you're not, then just reach out and start talking to people, find out who works there, find out if there are any jobs listed, and give it a try. I love it here. It's a great place to work.
So that is all the questions that I have for this interview, which means this concludes the PSUM interview. Thank you so much for your time
Thank
coming
you.
out here. Yes, okay.
Thanks a lot.